Goal.
And welcome to the inaugural grand final from the Royal Dublin Society between the hosts Leinster and tonight's visitors the Ospreys. And it's quite apt. The teams that finished first and second in the final table should be competing for this trophy. You're listening to S4C's English language commentary option. I'm Andy Moore, and joining me this evening is former Swansea, Wales and Lions scrum half Robert Jones. Evening, Rob.
Good evening, Ant.
Teams led out by respective captains Ryan Jones and Shane Jennings, who takes over from Leo Cullen, the North captain, who unfortunately sidelined with a shoulder injury. And if you just look at those two players, the back rows, McLaughlin, Jennings and Heaslip up against Collin, Holler and Ryan Jones. Saw a quick shot of Malcolm O'Kelly, who plays his last game this evening. 15 years he's been playing, and I'm sure that Dublin and the Leinster players in particular will be looking forward to sending off with a victory. The Ospreys, well, they have the same 22 that competed a semi-final, a victory over Glasgow, 20 points to 5 at the Liberty Stadium, and they contain no fewer than 18 internationals. And in Tommy Bowe, James Hook, Adam Jones and Jerry Collins, 4 players who made the Magners League Dream Team for 2009-2010. And Rob, all the makings of a fantastic event.
It is. I mean, it's a fantastic atmosphere at the ground. I mean, it's you look at the teams, and again, throughout both sides, you've got huge amounts of talent, and the battles, as you said, within the back row, but even in the back five as well. You know, Carney and Lee Byrne and so many others. So it should be a fantastic occasion, and one the Ospreys, I'm sure, will be desperate to win, but Leinster perhaps at the moment, because it's home advantage, just have the edge.
Dan Biggar then starts the final. High kick straight into the 22 and immediately taken by Heaslip, Bank of Ireland Player of the Year for Leinster. Again, another player in that Magners League Dream Team, only player to have been selected in it on all 4 occasions. An early mistake from Leinster. Ball going straight into touch, and nerves will play a big part, Rob.
Yeah, it will. I mean, one thing about Leinster's performances throughout the season, or the last couple of seasons, is the fact they don't make many mistakes. But that's one straight from the kick-off. Redden's kick just a little bit, perhaps a yard or two too far, and Ryan Jones doing very well to catch it in touch.
Bennett then, at the first line out, finds Ryan Jones. And immediately Collins straight in. You've seen that move so many times with the Ospreys, looking to attack through the middle of the line. Phillips there, eyes and ears of the pack. Ospreys will look to soften up the Leinster defence. A very physical game last week against Munster at the RDS. Van der Linde and Alan Wynne-Jones just exchanging, not blows particularly, just early game friendships. Big move for the referee, just to come in, settle things down. Chris White of the RFU. He's the most experienced English ref. 179 Premiership games, 3 Heineken Cup finals, and it's his 8th Magners appearance, actually including 2003 Magners League Final at the Millennium Stadium between Neath and Munster.
Yeah, he is one of the better refs in world rugby. As I said, he's going to have his a handful here in terms of ensuring that he keeps the discipline on the field, because both sides look very, very pumped up. You can see that when they came out, and early exchanges there with Van der Linde, Alan Wynne-Jones, just shows that both sides are desperate to get a result here.
Scrum's so important in these games. Again, fairly solid from the Ospreys. Pick up from Holler at the back. He's engulfed by Hines. Ball is there for Phillips. He has to dig for it though. Ryan Jones this time. He's met by 3 defenders. Hines again in the action. Lovely offload from Collins. Ball just went forward though. I think it was Bowe who spilt it.
Yeah, I think it was Tommy Bowe who came through. Short ball I think off Jerry Collins. Found a little bit of space. They went a little bit wider and just couldn't quite get that pass away. Had he got it away, that could well have led to a try. But that's his strength as well. He doesn't die with the ball. He always looks to offload. but on that occasion, the ball going forward.
And sensible play from Collins, because they know he's a big, strong runner. He's going to be targeted, and this time just chose to offload, put players into space. There's Darcy, one half of the Darcy-O'Driscoll centre partnership, and they know this man very well. Tommy Bowe, Six Nations Player of the Year.
He's a fantastic individual. He's had a great season, not just the Six Nations, but for the Ospreys as well, whether it be in Europe or in the Magners League. He's always been at the end of passes. He's scored many tries, but he has a creative talent as well. Pops up in and around the field, very much like Shane Williams, always looking for work.
Well, Mr. White deeming that the Ospreys have deliberately wheeled that ball at the scrum, giving the penalty away, letting Leinster off the hook somewhat.
Well, that's one thing Leinster have done over the last couple of years. They've always been a very good rugby side. They've always had a lot of talent behind the scrum. They've never always had a pack who can provide them with a platform for those guys to excel. But Michael Checker has worked hard to ensure that he strengthened that pack. CJ van der Linde, Stan Wright, two formidable prop forwards, and their scrum does look strong. You can see they're just perhaps breaking the bind, and that's an area I think Leinster will target. They will look to put pressure on both the scrum and the line-out. The set piece is something that, as I said, they've really developed over the past 12 months.
Good reference from Mr. White as well, taking the opportunity, getting to the line-out to speak to both front rows. Good ball off the top from O'Kelly. Hit into the midfield with Heaslip again. He makes yards. Ball's there for Redden, and O'Kelly spills it. You can see that Leinster are trying to play at a tempo, taking ball off the top, hitting up the midfield, trying to get into the likes of Andrew Bishop and James Hook. O'Kelly, well, it is just momentarily took his eye off the ball, spilling the ball, giving the Ospreys the opportunity now to attack from the scrum.
Yeah, he's had a couple of mistakes have crept in, and that's down purely, I think, to nerves on such a big occasion.
Again, the scrum dropping down. A lot of pressure in those front rows. Leinster will be buoyed the fact that John Fogarty has just been selected for the Irish tour this summer. Places Rory Best. Just picked up an injury. And you put him inside Wright and van der Linde, and that is some front row. Met, however, by James, Bennett and Jones. Not small themselves. Phillips feeds. Ryan Jones hits the blind side. Again, just taken down. Ball's there, Collins over the top. Phillips looks up quickly where there's a look bigger, looks for a cross kick. It's high, a little bit too far, and the Thay was under it. Great take.
Yeah, that was a fantastic take. And he's been one of the stars of this Leinster side as well. So when he plays that outside half or on the wing, a great footballer, and then showing his strength. Doesn't get it to touch.
Bigger this time, hoists the high ball just outside the 22. Carney takes it quite comfortably. Ospreys over the top. Sometimes difficult though when you have momentum, you're hitting the wreck. If you clear the players out in front of you, as Marty Holler did then.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Marty Holler there, he couldn't keep his balance when he went over the ball, but here's that Nathewa take under pressure, kept his eyes on the ball, called the mark, but then again the mistake came after that. Didn't find touch, put himself on his side under pressure.
Sexton finds touch this time. Line out to Leinster. We've got Hines, Scottish international, O'Kelly, Heaslip, all options at the line out. O'Kelly it is. Wide ball from Redden. Sexton pulls it back to Nathai, where it's popped up into the line. A lovely offload, just deemed forward though. Great work again.
Well, that's just different, isn't it? Again, Nathewa pop in outside or behind. Lovely pass by Darcy. This is the pass that's deemed forward. Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about that, a yard or two forward. But a very cleverly worked move by Leinster. And again, the big ball carrier, Heaslip, was the one missed out. All the focus defensively was on him from the Ospreys. But there was a change and a variation.
Phillips. Good mistake there with the left foot, putting it out. It's his first touch as well. Be disappointed with that. You see they're trying to hit the short side, play the ball there. Ideally he wants to keep that infield.
Yeah, I said it's been mistake-ridden so far. There's only 8 minutes gone. But both sides trying to find their feet, trying to settle.
Fogarty again with O'Kelly. Flat ball. Bigger's involved, makes the tackle. Pinched by Holler. Phillips this time looks to push the ball upfield. And again, another mistake. You can see the Ospreys look nervous. Uncharacteristic mistake from Phillips.
Look at the work of Marty Holler here. Absolutely fantastic. He goes in, he allows Darcy time to try and place the ball, but he's so strong on his feet as well. I mean, he puts himself in a perfect position, and then the upper body strength comes in, and that's his biggest attribute, and does an awful lot of pinching possession.
Well, it might be his last game, O'Kelly, but they're certainly getting the most out of him. This time up with a slower ball, trying to drive it up, Fogarty at the back. Hit short. It was Jennings, the captain, this time spilled it, gives the Ospreys an opportunity to attack. Carney finds a high ball, chases. Phillips underneath. Carney comes out best. Right into the heart of the Ospreys' defence. Scramble defence. Ball's there for Redden. Wide ball to Nathaiwa. This time it's Heaslip. He's met by his opposite number, Jones. Van der Lin's in the Redden again. And it is very, very frantic.
It's frantic. It's very intense as well. Defensively, the Ospreys, I mean, great work by Kenny. Kept his eye on the ball. Mike Phillips looked in, but he kept, and then he made inroads. But the Ospreys regrouping quickly and again putting pressure on the ball carrier. And Heaslip did well to stay infield and offload the pass. But the Ospreys typically then flying up in midfield, putting pressure on, and another mistake from the Leinster side.
Early push, Jones takes it quickly. Mistake again, it's still play though. Byrne offload. First chance for Shane William, ball in hands, chips to the corner. It's on the banks now. Again, it's scrambled defence. Shane Williams rings and Holler's in there, looking for the ball.
Let's go.
Redden will try and clear his lines. And does so. And positive from the Ospreys, came from a mistake, but what was good, Rob, I thought, was a mistake by Leinster. 2 quick passes from the Ospreys, get the ball wide.
Yeah, very good work. I say, when it is turnover ball, you're always up against a disorganised defensive line, and they took advantage of that. They looked up, they saw where the space was, give Shane Williams an opportunity to open his legs early doors, and put themselves in a very, very good position.
Thomas just about gets hands to it. Paul James clears up. Ball's there for Phillips. He's got Adam Jones standing off. He's in, tackled by O'Kelly, slows it down. But again, just looking to make hard yards. Tie in a straggling defence. Alan Wynne-Jones this time. Ryan Jones is there cleaning out. It's there for Phillips. Bigger. Williams. He's well tackled by O'Driscoll. Knows the danger that Williams has. It's there again for Mike Phillips. Hook this time, tries to dance, tries to eke his way through. A mistake from the Ospreys, though, giving Leinster the opportunity. Turnover ball, Jerry Collins in this Redden caught unawares there. O'Kelly popped the ball back. Byrne, big pass infield to Bow. Going across field. Shane Williams given the option of a inside ball. Bishop out to Alan Wynne-Jones. A speculative cross high kick. That's fielded by Carney. Now surely one of those were accidentally offside. Ball's charged down by Alan Wynne-Jones from Redden's kick. Comes to Horgan. Again, it's exciting, but it's scrappy. O'Kelly flows to right. Redden again. Looking to come wide, there's numbers here. Heaslip's out on the wing, he spent most of the time out on the wing at the moment. Playing advantage to the Ospreys, and knock on. Phillips drags it back. Tommy Bow into Collins. Only one way he's going is straight. Shane Williams, little dancing dummy. Didn't obstruct anybody. Ball's there for Phillips. And he's immediately tackled. Illegally so, though. And perhaps this will be the opportunity where things calm down and Bigger will have a shot at goal.
Well, it is. I mean, it is scrappy. A lot of it is because of the defensive effort. I mean, there's no time on the ball. There's a huge amount of pressure from both sides. I think Jennings there was penalised, perhaps coming in from the side. Didn't give Mike Phillips enough time to get rid of that ball. But I said there's a ferocity in the defensive effort from both sides. You've got no time to breathe, really, and that's why so many mistakes are being committed. But here's an opportunity at least to cool things down, get some points on the board.
Silly penalty from Jennings, really, because it was slow ball for Phillips. Leinster had managed to buy some time to organise their defence. And the one thing you can't do is defend the ball sailing 10 metres over your head through the sticks.
That's one thing with Mike Phillips. I think you can put pressure on him around the base, and he picks up and takes that step or two to deliver. That's an opportunity missed.
Slides past the post.
And Dan Bigger doesn't miss many kicks at goal. He's got a fantastic success rate.
This will have taken him over 200 points on 198 at the moment.
And in perfect conditions as well. You'd expect that to sail between the posts.
Come on, you had your chance now.
So it's a let off that for Leinster, and disappointment for the Ospreys.
Sexton puts it high. Bow is coming off the wing to take. Takes it with ease, but immediately met by the Leinster defence. And likewise, Heaslip this time on Mike Phillips. They know about his danger. They've seen him on the international field. Bigger just tries to squeeze one through the outside of his right foot. Just wonder, though, with the Leinster line out the way it is, whether the Ospreys would be better keeping the ball in hand, attacking through the phases. They've really just handed the ball back to Leinster now at this line out.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I think Malcolm O'Kelly, as you said, he's been the main target, perhaps the only target. I think he's won 4 of the Leinster throw-ins so far. Very organised, very disciplined in this department.
Hines is the choice this time, goes to the front. Again, expect to see a high ball from Redden. Just try and gain an extra few yards. Heaslip's on the ball. Working it well this time, Ospreys in disarray. Heaslip breaks blind. Again, makes hard yards for a big man. On a plate for Redden. Up in the air, Horgan to chase. Well taken though, and great offload. Bigger to Bishop. Looking for support, still going Bishop. Lovely offload to Hook. Hook is spinning in the tackle. Speculative pass over the top. Horgan couldn't quite get it. Bow does. It's there, Paul James steps over, leaves it for Phillips. Jonathan Thomas takes it forward off an inside ball from Bigger. Ryan Jones, he's caught immediately by Jennings. Ospreys keep possession, but they're going backwards at a rate of knots. And Bigger just chips one over the top. Carney happy though, just to clear down. Oh, thank you very much. How's that? O'Kelly straight in on Phillips. Phillips does very well to keep possession and set the ruck up. James in a scrum half. And it's hot potato at the moment for the Ospreys. They desperately need someone to almost put their foot in the ball.
I think you've got it right there. They just need to calm down, control things a little here. There's a lot of experience in this Ospreys side, and you've got to applaud them for what they're trying to do in terms of keeping the ball alive. But they're doing it under huge pressure and ultimately putting more pressure on themselves. They just need to calm things down a little, go through the phases, just build the performance over a period of time.
Good kick from Byrne. This is the moment here. Dan Bigger. Mike Phillips takes it.
Well, Mike Phillips does really well here, and there's no doubt, you know, I mean, he was under huge pressure, but to take the hit and then present the ball as he did.
Take from Ryan Jones. Bennett's in on it then. They're looking now to drive them all forward. Counter drive for Leinster. At best, it'll just be very, very slow ball for the Ospreys. Mike Phillips organises. Alan Wynne-Jones and Adam Jones stand off. Adam Jones clears out. It's there for Collins. Now Phillips. Phillips hits wide to Bigger. Short ball. Lovely ball to Bishop. Great offload. Tommy Bowe. Well worked try.
Again, a great movement there. And Tommy Bowe was at the end of it, but there was some great movement and work in midfield by the Ospreys. She's one happy woman, Ospreys supporter. You see Dan Bigger.
Lovely line from Bishop.
There was a great line back inside from Bishop. It came from outside to in. You just look, takes that. They had 2 or 3 other options. Dan Bigger choosing the right one. And then it was a simple give and take. It's a lovely short ball.
It was a lovely flat pass as well, but it was the angle of Andrew Bishop's run. Yeah. Can Bigger finish it off? Good strike, straight through, takes him to 200 points. It takes the Ospreys to 7, and after a very frenetic start, Ospreys are leading 7 points to 0.
And again, it was simple stuff as well. Work line out. As I said, fantastic angle by Andrew Bishop. Coming from the wide angle, but then coming in short. Lovely flat pass by Dan Bigger, as you said. And there's that man, Tommy Bowe. He's been on the end of many a pass, scored many a try. And then more, perhaps important than that one.
Hands away! Back foot, gentlemen, back foot.
Mike Phillips finds Byrne. Can't kick directly to touch because the ball was passed into the 22. So he's just gone for length. Kearney, though, looks to return with interest, runs it down. He's tackled by Shane Williams and Alan Wynne-Jones. David Changlin on the far side. Scottish referee has come in. I think he's going to speak about a high tackle.
Thank you very much. Can we go somewhere else? 15.
He's having a word with Lee Byrne, and I mean, I'm sure it was something Chris White would have seen himself. Was it high? Lee Byrne saying that he had the jersey around the shoulders. You just look at it, there's nothing high there. I mean, that's a poor decision. That's a poor decision. And I think Chris White saw enough himself to have made a decision there. He certainly didn't go for the whistle, but it was David Changlin coming in.
Very difficult though when your assistant referee comes in and recommends.
Yeah, you're right. He's got to take his word, his advice. They work together. They're a team.
Keith, you think push back a bit, please?
Andy McPherson and David Changlin of the Scottish Rugby Union assistant referees this evening. And the customary silence at the RDS for Sexton to kick. Probably just on the limit of his range, but he struck it well, and that's a great strike.
Well, I mean, he knows this ground very, very well. As I said, perfect conditions. The pitch is in absolutely immaculate condition, I have to say. Short-cut grass, beautiful for running rugby. Both sides have tried to play that in these early exchanges, but defences have been too good. Haven't allowed much space, apart from, of course, that fantastic try by Tommy Bowe.
Well, there were big concerns when Contaponi left Leinster, but those considerable boots have been filled by Sexton. Formed a good half-back partnership with that man there, Redden. Vary the kick in between the two. Phillips again underneath it. Diffuses the high ball. Does well. Been driven backwards. Keeps his composure. Bowe comes in at 9. Finds Byrne. It's a huge crossfield kick.
Holding you, wait.
Again, the high ball. Well taken by Byrne, still going. Bodies flying into the rucks, Phillips. It's bigger.
Hang on, wait.
Again, looking to put the ball into space. Horgan comes off the wing. Mathewa this time. And a simple loop around by Horgan, but the ball is spilt. It's gone backwards though. O'Driscoll takes it forward. He's engulfed by Adam Jones. The ruck is set up. Redden hits blind. Saxton. O'Driscoll. This time, ruck was formed. That's what Mr. White is saying. Marty Holler. The ruck is formed, it's hands out.
I think he made it quite clear there as well. Marty Holler arguing with the referee, but he made it quite clear. Remove your hands to Sam. And he stayed in there and given Sexton an opportunity, at least to gain some extra yardage, getting near that 22-metre area.
Customary end-over-end kick.
Just looking, sorry, Dan Biggar there is having some treatment. He got up off the ground, hobbling a little.
Took a bump in that last passage of play. And he's quite a physical outside half. You look, he's 3 or 4 tackles made already. When Leinster were hitting up short, using Darcy straight off the line out, it was Biggar who took him. Whether that's a ploy of Leinster to use Darcy to get into that area.
It would be interesting to see what decision they'd make if Dan Biggar went off, whether they'd move James Hook to 10 or bring Gareth Owen on the bench straight into that position, which he's more than accustomed to.
O'Kelly again takes ball at the line out. Fogarty this time. Thought he saw a gap. It's closed immediately by Paul James. It's there for Redden. Sexton slightly deeper this time. Offloads to Darcy. Ball's out. Redden again. O'Driscoll, wide pass to Horgan, who's fumbled it again. It's gone backwards though. No, it hasn't. It's played. Well, knock on.
Well, again, that's where David Changlin came in. I thought that ball went backwards, and immediately Chris White said it had gone backwards. Just look there, that ball goes backwards.
And a great pickup. Great pickup. Say little about the bit after.
Shane Horgan, I think he's dropped 2 or 3 passes.
Well, he has a habit of making mistakes. You look at the European Cup game here. Gave the interception. Such an important area of the game, the scrum. Saw it last week in the Leinster-Munster semi-final. Game that Leinster came out 16-point to 6 winners. But it was a very, very physical encounter.
Oh, it was impressive as well, the second half defensive display by Leinster. They just didn't give Munster any time on the ball. And that's the other thing about Leinster, they're a very, very fit outfit. Michael Checker, they said, has got a solid scrum and set piece generally. He's got some big men in that pack, but they're all very fit and keep going for 80+ minutes.
It's Louis Walsh.
He's one very excited individual.
Interesting to hear Checker speak at the start of the game, saying about there's no room for emotion this evening. Several players moving on, himself going, O'Kelly leaving, Van der Linde is another one, Gervin Dempsey, who sat on the bench, he's retiring, so a lot of names leaving Leinster. But Checker made sure he pointed out that emotion wouldn't be playing a part till after the game.
Yeah, it's all about the result, isn't it?
We're in it, you know, so we've got to keep applying some pressure on them.
Yeah, we all know that Leinster are pretty clinical as far as the teams make mistakes. That's what they capitalise on, that's where they are. So is it a matter of just keeping those to a minimum now? Yeah,
this side makes the least amount of mistakes, you know. We're in control at the moment. We just got to keep our error count down. And as I said, just keep applying pressure on Leinster. Hopefully they'll crack, you know.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay.
Wright came in then. Big swinging arm. Shane Williams saw it, lucky enough to get underneath it. But interesting to hear Holly saying it's we're in control. Just got to cut the mistakes down. I think could be echoed by Checker. Just slowly starting to go through the phases though. Good offload by Phillips. Important that he doesn't get tied in. They need him at 9. Bow avoids. I was going to say avoids the injured player. Big tackle by Ryan Jones on Horgan. Again, Collins. He's tackled by Horgan. Ryan Jones again. Phillips looking to go slightly wider, hits Bennett. Biggers had to clear out. So Hook steps into the 10 role. Bishop, such a strong player, shakes off a tackle of Sexton. He's brought down by Heaslip. Again, Heaslip seems to spend most of his time out on this left wing. Adam Jones, lovely sleight of hand and offload. Ball still there for the Ospreys. Hook this time. Dummies a runner, finds Byrne. Alan Wynne-Jones. Here's a great opportunity. Jerry Collins outside it, steps inside, goes straight. Good tackle by Mathewa. Could be a try save, or was a try saving tackle. Now it's Heaslip, he offloads. Mathewa again is in the action. The forwards arrive, clear out, it's there for Redden. He looks to dink the ball downfield. So weary Shane Williams who comes back. He's looking to attack again now. O'Driscoll shakes off that tackle. He's in open space. Kicks through. Sexton, I think it is his back, waiting for it to go into touch. Happy to run the ball in. Crowd unhappy though with the injury.
Well, there's lots of boos going up. Didn't actually see what happened.
It's Kevin McLaughlin who's down.
Whether we'll have the luxury of a replay there. But what a fantastic passage of play.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. And a great tackle by Nathewa, because Collins, I'm surprised he passed. You always see it now.
Well, I
think that's the injury.
Well, the injury's there. I think he's done something to his knee. I think there's a twist of the knee. Nothing malicious there at all.
And very typical for the referee when there's so much going on. He's got so much to worry about. It's not a head injury. Ryan Jones, minus the scrum cap, takes the ball. Bennett again, straight into the pack. Ospreys are looking to take this up the middle. Leinster doing their best to spoil. Van der Linde puts his inconsiderable weight behind it. Adam Jones now joins. It's stopped though. Referee's calling that stop once. Ospreys going to look to use this next time. There's the call. Good Leinster defensive line. Again. I was going to say again, good use of the dummy runner, but this time too close to the action. Deemed to be a shield on a penalty, and lets Leinster off the hook.
Well, let's just have a look at that, yeah. He takes Darcy out of the game.
And no need really, Rob, was there?
They've got away with it a couple of times. I mean, certainly when, as I said, Jerry Collins got tackled, it looked as if there was a try on. Great tackle, as you said, by Nathewa. But again, there was a lot of sort of work off the ball. a lot of dummy running. And the referees picked it up on that occasion, so they've got to be mindful of that now. They use it very well. But certainly Chris White picked it up once. He'll be looking for it. And the other thing, but we mentioned obviously Leinster's defensive work. The work of Ryan Jones to get back and make that tackle on Shane Hogan. Fantastic. Then he got up and he got straight back involved in play.
Chris White wants the gap. Nathan Hines just helping out. Again, O'Kelly off the top. Sexton. Darcy hits a wide ball. It's Carney. Good tackle. Again, I think the ball's been pinched. No, Redden. It's right. Again, it's slow ball. Redden has to dig for it. O'Kelly inside his partner, Hines. He's tackled by Collins. Ball pops up again. Heaslip. Dragged backwards by Alan Wynne-Jones and Jonathan Thomas and Adam Jones. Ball still there though for Leinster. Down the right side, there's good defensive line there for the Ospreys. Jonathan Thomas again makes a hit.
And he's pinched it.
Hands away, Blue! Hands away, Blue!
Phillips looks up. Takes his options. It's bigger. Again, a big kick move, and Nathawa's read it well. Perfectly positioned. Little dink over the top. It's into space, but Bigger's there. There's an opportunity to go wide. Finds Byrne. Byrne again puts boot to ball. Just happily nudges it down the tram line into the 22. And a little bit more shape from the Ospreys, Rob.
Yeah, I was going to say that there is a bit more control in their game. There's no doubt about that.
Ryan, please, Ryan. You took your time over there. Yes, please.
Well, it's certainly living up to that billing of being the grand final. Yes, there are mistakes, but it's an intense affair.
Yeah, there's great, I said, you know, the ferocity in the defensive effort from both sides has been very evident.
The most unlikeliest of line-out jumpers there, CJ van der Lind.
But there is a bit more control to the Ospreys' performance. Leinster are still at 6s and 7s. They haven't really got their game together at all at the moment.
Good offload from Shane Williams, and yet again, who's there as a great open side flanker should be Marty Holler. Shane Williams then doesn't have to get involved in the heavy-duty stuff. Take position, Bigger. Tommy Bowe in midfield this time, wide ball, finds Hook. He jinks inside, he finds Bishop. It's Byrne rather, what a great opportunity. He's on the outside, he's over.
Well, again, that was a brilliantly worked try. You've got to say, as I said, it was good work initially by the forwards. And this pass, Bigger goes on the run around. Then he has to put some height on it. And the inside ball. And Lee Byrne, you're not going to stop him from there.
Great play from Hook, though. Ball in two hands at all time. Keeps the defence guessing. Well, lovely inside ball. Byrne in full flow.
Well, Nathawa was prone to coming in for that interception. He got away with it earlier on in the season, just a few weeks back at this ground against the Ospreys. But Dan Bigger's pass was inch perfect to give Hook the time and to use his guile and his skill to weigh up his options, and the inside ball being the better option. Great line again by Byrne. And they certainly look the better side at the moment. They deserve this lead. They've scored the 2 tries, they've created more, and more importantly, there's been more control to their performance. After a bit of a tough start from both sides, they have taken control of this game.
And the extras. Takes it up to 14-3. And well deserved from the Ospreys. Worked very hard for that, and players popping up in all sorts of positions. As you pointed out, Rob, there's Nathawa. He came in. If you're going to come in there, you've got to take the ball.
You have. I said if they can put width on it, they seem to be finding a fair bit of space. And so the winger's going to make a decision. He either stays out and covers that sort of 15-metre channel, or he comes in for the interception. And if the pass is as good as Dan Biggers was then, well, you've got every chance of scoring.
Ospreys play up the middle, then happy to pull the ball back and go downfield. Hogan gets into his stride, met by Alan Wynne-Jones. He offloads to Hines, to Van der Linde. Ruck is set up, it's there for Redden. Good flat ball. Again, the defence is there, it's bigger. Keogh this time taking it up. Is Heaslip, again out in the midfield. Nathaywa is there, but he's met immediately, and Jerry Collins follows up on a tackle from Tommy Bowe.
He's not offside, player.
Leinster throwing everything at the Ospreys. The defence is good.
Lost it again.
And it's Alan Wynne-Jones again, another player working overtime, putting the hits in, forcing Leinster into the mistake. Great organisation from the Ospreys, very comfortable in defence.
They're not panicking at all, are they? They're not throwing bodies in for the sake of it. They're keeping, you know, making sure that they defend the space. And a good example of that then when Nathaywa had the ball out here, right virtually on the touchline. 3 or 4 Ospreys defenders had sort of worked their way across. He had no time, no space, no room to play. Had to take the tackle, had to set things up again. And again, when the ball does come back, there's more than ample numbers in the Ospreys' defensive work.
A little bit of treatment for Hugh Bennett. One of 11 players from the Ospreys will be on the Welsh summer tour. Just to remind you, you are listening to S4C's English language commentary option with myself, Andy Moore, and Robert Jones for this pulsating grand final, inaugural grand final, the Magners League. Sensible refereeing from White. Ball's at the feet of Ryan Jones. He said, let's just use it, get it out of the scrum. Dink over the top.
That's a
great return. And that is the time to take a quick line out. We saw in the first half, Bigger taking it quickly, putting Mike Phillips under all sorts of pressure.
That's an interesting one. Let's have a look. They're saying that maybe Lee Byrne took this ball over the line. Well, that's certainly not the case.
He's saying he had his foot. No, because he had his foot over the line as he took the quick line out, which is why it's still Ospreys' ball. For me, irrelevant.
You're onside now.
High ball this time. Horgan's underneath, takes it well. Just looks in field. Carney's there, loves to run, but the Ospreys' defence is up to it again. Hall is in the thick of things. Sexton goes wide. Nathaywa pops up in midfield. O'Driscoll, he cleans out. Van der Linde arrives. Then Redden. O'Driscoll's off again. Isolated slightly. Do well to get away with that, Leinster. O'Kelly to right. Again, this time it's Bishop who's in making the tackle. Jerry Collins as well. Redden to Sexton.
Tackle release.
Good hit.
Away now, away, hands away.
Paul James does his best to get out the way. And again, almost a moral victory for the Ospreys, forcing Leinster to kick. Byrne with a nasty bouncing ball. Strikes it sweetly again, though. Leinster not happy to wait, though. Go quickly. High ball. Into the last minute. Spilt, but it's gone backwards. Bigger happy to push the ball down. And Nathaywa's back there. Does well to keep it in field. And that's half-time. And I think that the players will be more than happy to see that.
Well, I don't think it's quite half-time.
Or is he blown for the injury?
There's only, what, 20 seconds of the game, 22 seconds left. But as you said, it's been a very, very good performance so far from the Ospreys. Defensively, the work. I said, as soon as someone's isolated, they'll throw numbers in to the breakdown as well. Putting huge pressure on Redden to try and get that ball away quickly. I said, Keogh, I think he's hurt himself there, well, you can see.
And that'd be a big blow. Well, having lost Kevin McLaughlin, Keogh replaced him. He's going to soldier on, but it certainly looked nasty.
Well, Michael Checker's got a little bit of work to do at half-time here. His side are not performing. And that side in white there, the Ospreys, are in control of this game so far.
Jonathan Thomas this time, flat ball from Phillips. Again, looking to hit up in midfield. It's been a pattern that the Ospreys have stuck to.
Well, this is their last chance. Leinster try and get something back before the break.
Obstruction. Taking the player out in front. Obstruction number 7.
They've got to watch that now, the Ospreys, because obviously Chris White is picking up about this obstruction.
Sexton, a little bit unsure. He knows if he kicks it out, it's all over. I think you're looking around, a lot of tired faces. Well, half-time, 14-3 to the Ospreys. Thoroughly deserve to be where they are in relation to this game. And I hope that you'll join us again for the second half of the grand final.